All right, welcome everyone. It's Rochelle Wilhite, and I've got Chris Somerville here joining me today. We're going to be doing the conference call. We are talking about the Goldmine Strategy, and I think a lot of you are on the call looking for some great tips and tricks on how to manage your database. This is a very big topic. It's probably a topic we could cover for the next 4 or 5 sessions and still not cover everything that needs to be covered. So what we'll do today is give you guys a good foundation to work from, maybe talk briefly about the Goldmine Strategy. I'll go over it with Chris on the phone, and then maybe he has got some good CRMs that you guys could check out if you're not happy with the one that we offer you at Best Choice. So we'll kind of go, it's going to be fast paced. We'll go through things fairly quickly. If you need some additional support after the call, I know Chris would welcome having an offline conversation with you, or maybe get you situated with some of his counterparts over at West to help you with some task-oriented items that are related around building out your database and really connecting with your clientele. So, don't think that tonight's the end-all be-all. We don't have enough time, obviously, to cover this big topic. Let me put it on the screen here. There we go. So what I've got on the screen here is we're going to just jump right in, is the instant Goldmine strategy. So what we want to do is focus with your current clients, people that you have helped to buy or sell a property within the past 12 months. If you are new to the business, these are the people who have indicated to you that they want to work with you when you get your license. So if you are new to the business, that's who you're going to want to talk to, people that have indicated they want to work with you. There's an example that I wanted to share with you guys. So there's somebody that wanted me to come over and just take a look at their kitchen remodel. And so I went ahead and did that. I went over to their house to take a look at their kitchen remodel. Well, whenever there's remodeling being done, they want to know, what are your thoughts, and then they have connected with people that are in the real estate, either improvement, or I just don't want to improve my home anymore. So I want to actually, either buy another one or sell another one. So, you want to kind of connect with people, and have a good conversation with those clients. And the way to do that is to really focus and put them as first on your list. So you're wanting to break out if you have a big database, you want to be very selective at who you focus your Goldmine strategy to. I like the current clients. Those are easiest to work because they know me and that we've had conversations. But if you are like, well, I don't have a lot of people right now that I'm currently talking with, or current clients that I've done business with, then you've got to look at your second group or your second tier of database, your past clients. So these are people you've done business with maybe more than a year ago, and they've placed their trust in you in the past, and now that you want to give them a reason to do it again. So that's another category that you can work well. So if you can't do the first part, then you got to go to the second tier. And if you can't do the second, because you maybe haven't had any past clients, many of you on the call are just getting into the business, then you need to start looking at prospects. These are people who, in one way or another, came to your database but never bought or sold with you. These people, they can be bought, and many of you have bought leads from Zillow or other referral clients, different websites. There's different CRMs that you can use. There's Mojo, there's Realty Juggler, there's Real Geeks, there's Wise Agent, there's Top Producer, Firepoint, Excel, Outlook. There are really a lot of programs that you can utilize to manage the database of these prospects. But again, you have to find them initially. So you have to have a way of capturing those prospects. And many of you need to figure out where those sources need to come from. So these are people that know you or came from, maybe people that know of you and know that you're in real estate. Chris, can you add any more CRMs to the list there? I mean, there's multiple amount of CRMs. What do you know about some of these companies that I'm recommending here?
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly, and one of the things that I want to remind everybody, if they don't know already, we actually have, and I can send a link out to you, Rochelle, that you can forward, is our modern day agent is a component of what we do here at WFG in conjunction with West, where they're constantly vetting newer technologies throughout the entire spectrum. So there's also a list of recently vetted technology on our modern day agent page. You've mentioned a lot of different ones here in the list. Of course, Brivity comes to mind. Contactually comes to mind. I've used Contactually personally. That was a good CRM, really basic, that could integrate with a lot of different things. Like, it's not expensive, and it also integrates with things like BombBomb, which is another piece of technology that I like to use to integrate into my business. And some of those things can kind of be bolted onto each other. So if you're looking for a CRM that does more than just kind of manage contacts, you want to make sure when you're investigating that you get something, if you're looking more than just the CRM system itself, but that you can integrate other technologies, find out what kind of architecture they have and see if it's kind of open where you can start integrating different technologies within that system. So that would be something I would definitely consider as well.
I would probably add Contactually on the list, and then the other one was Brivity that I think you mentioned, right?
Yes.
And I've used all of the ones here on the list. I've used Mojo, Realty Juggler, Real Geeks, Wise Agent, Top Producer, Firepoint, Excel, and Outlook. These are all ones that I have used. So people ask me all the time, which ones have you used, Rochelle? I've used all of them. And here's the deal with the CRM. CRM is only good if you use it. So if you're not going to go in there and check it every single day, then you better find a different one. Real Geeks also is the one I'm using that's complimentary. Everyone on the call has access to Real Geeks. And it does, for the most part, it does remind you when things need to be done. It does send emails. It does do home search notifications. It does track when those clients connect with your landing page through Best Choice Realty. It does a lot of the things that others do, but again, it's very simple. It just doesn't have all the bells and whistles, maybe such as Contactually or Firepoint or Top Producer. It does not have those types of, it doesn't extrapolate that way or scale when you have thousands of people in your database. But if you're just starting, Real Geeks is a really good one that you could do. I put on the screen here, this is this spreadsheet that you would need to get. If you want me to get this to you, in order to get your Real Geeks set up properly, a lot of you have not done it properly or put everybody in. The easiest thing to do would be to get an Excel sheet. And then this is the, let's just say Chris was my lead. I just fill in Chris's name. Chris. This is a way to, you're Christ today. How about that?
Hey, get down off the cross. We need the wood, Somerville.
And then the email address, we could put his email in there. So we have to basically fill out some sort of little
Chris
sheet.
At WFG at.
Okay.
Oh, I was wondering where that was coming from.
My computer's talking to me now, Chris. And then you put the phone number in, you put the type.
253632565.
This is humorous now. So basically you put in your type, where you are sourcing the lead from, who it's assigned to, that would be your name, and then the address. So all of this data is typical for most CRMs. They need something to obviously pull from. So if it's leads that you're entering in, we can take an Excel sheet like this that has hundreds or thousands, and easily with one click of the button, add this into Real Geeks, and then you have your system ready to go. Many of you use Real Geeks that are on the call, and that's great, but you may want to go in and actually categorize or prioritize your leads into different buckets. That's one thing you may want to focus your time on. So let's go in. Sorry, Chris, if you jump in if you need to say something here.
Yeah, I was definitely going to see, the data in versus the data out. It's a real discipline to get that in. As a company, we're integrating and adopting a brand new CRM system for the last, it's been about 6 to 9 months since we rolled it out. And, it's all about getting the data in there, because if you don't have good data in, you don't get good data out. And then going in and color coding and really getting intimate with your contacts and see who's in there. So you're staying, really, really connected with who's in your database and what you're sending out to them is really important.
Perfect. All right. So, because I have my database set up, just to Chris's point, I've got my current clients, which is what I call my hot list. And then I've got my past closed clients that refer business. I have this broken into my A+ category. And then I've got my A's and B's, because I mean, some of my past clients refer business to me, and that's great. And some that just are my past clients. So they don't usually refer, but I want to connect with them in that personal way. And then my database of prospects, I've got them in like long-term, short-term, and mid-term. So I have these categorized as well. And then I have a fourth group, and we'll go into the fourth group because this actually has proved very successful for me. And I've actually tried the Goldmine strategy on my fourth group. And that's how I've been able to, I've got 3 leads that I'm currently working with right now from my affiliates. So you'll want to reach out to these people who have already built a relationship with you. You've already spent money with them. You've already done business with them. They have some sort of affiliated trust with you. For example, they could be, this example I did last time I did this session was managing brokers that sold me key boxes. He knew I was, building and growing Best Choice Realty. And so I reached out to him with my affiliates just saying, hey, I wanted to check in with you. And he's like, Rochelle, I've got key boxes. I was able to pick up 30 key boxes for like $25. And you guys actually benefited from that. I sold all those key boxes for $50 each, saving you guys hundreds of dollars out there. But it's because I'm staying in contact with my affiliated people. That could be people that you do business with, maybe in a different state. Some of you have been licensed in another state, such as Arizona or California. If you stay in contact with your affiliated business partners, they actually have incentives of working, referrals, or, hey, I know you're up in Seattle, Rochelle, would you be willing to work with this client? And those are great affiliates. Another affiliate would be people that you do business with, that you regularly write checks out to, or you, in essence, do business with them, like my hairstylist, like the person that cuts my kids' hair, like the people that actually, that you go out to a restaurant and you're constantly going to a particular Starbucks. So what I did is I put those people into my affiliates, into my CRM almost about 6 months ago. I've been doing a contact with those affiliates more regularly than I have in the past. Sent them out a letter. I'll give you guys my letter today if you want. And I also personally contacted them by phone. And it would blow your mind to realize that here I have this big, huge organization, and I have 3 potential opportunities just this month because of the strategy, the Goldmine strategy. One's already in contract. The other one will be listing their home next week and looking to purchase a home and utilizing one of our Best Choice agents for that. So I know that—
Can I say something with that?
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Rochelle, can I say something? Well, I just wanted to add a little bit to that. One of the other great things about using your affiliates or the folks that you're working with directly is that's a great opportunity for you to offer to write a review for them and their business, especially if they're a proprietor of the business. You guys can exchange reviews. Zillow won't allow for it because you need to actually have done a real estate transaction. If that's the case, then great. But if you haven't done that, you definitely could swap like reviews on Facebook or Google, or ask them if they would have any objections if you reviewed their business for them. And that's just a really great way to connect with them. And then ultimately, then you become more of a connected affiliate for them too as well. So that's just a great way to kind of get that conversation and leverage those relationships as much as possible.
Awesome. Yeah. And it's a good way just to kind of get it out there that I'd be happy to return the business for you. Whatever you're doing for me, for my business, I would be happy to help you with your business as well. That's fabulous. The 5th group is the cold marketing. And this is where a lot of you are like, oh, I don't want to do cold marketing. But you know what? It's really working out well for many agents. They're running Facebook ads successfully. They're running Google ads successfully with their landing pages. They are sending out magazines. I do that regularly with my closed clients. A magazine does not cost you very much if you use the magazine company that I've connected with. Those are the types of marketing pieces that you could send out to some of those people to get your marketing to actually turn into actual results. Once you start working your cold market, it's really important that you scale. So you should be not spending all your time here. You should be spending your time, like we talked about earlier, with your first group, your second group, your third group, and your fourth group, because those are the types of people that are going to do stuff for you now. But don't forget that there is a deep, dark, very, very large cold marketing that you could do that has been very successful if you do it right and you're getting the right advertisements and the right message out to those types of people. Once you have it dialed in and you've got the right kind of system and the right areas of marketing, It's simply, you just scale up and you pay more, or you put more ads in that targeted area, and it's very successful. I talked to one of our top producers. Actually, you guys heard from her on the call. I said, how is Facebook working for you? She's pulled off completely off Zillow, and now she's starting to look at Facebook. She's like, gosh, Rochelle, it's been too long. I need to really get in there and actually do something with my Facebook. She's been spending money on Facebook and not doing it with her business page, which is a mistake. It's not targeted. She's paying a company to do it for her, and she's not doing it right because she's not getting leads from it that are actually converting. So if you need some help with that, that might be some area of expertise that you can get additional help with in the coming months, is on your Facebook and your Google advertising, or different types of magazines or mail pieces that work well. Before you spend thousands of dollars on it, you may want to talk with me or with Chris about what other agents are doing that are successful. And then the number one thing I'm hearing from agents about the strategy is they don't want to sound too salesy. They feel really awkward when they reach out to people they haven't talked to in 5 years or more. And if I talk to Chris and say, hey, Chris, when's the last time you talked with your pipeline of real estate agents? It might be a year or two, right? Since some of these people you've never done business with. It's kind of scary when you think about it from a salesy type of way. So, you can ask for reviews and, hey, I'm happy to review your business. We can kind of go that route. But, there's a big elephant in the room, and you've got to contact your database more than you have in the past, because your database is moving. We've created an elephant letter. So it's kind of like the elephant in the room. How do you really talk about the relationship if you haven't done the relationship in a long time? This is the letter that I kind of worked through when I sent it out to my database, and you could take similar parts of it. Again, you don't have to use every word for word, but I just write it out in a simple big elephant in the room kind of way. Just the other day, Chris and I were talking, and we thought it would be time to review our business. We've come to the conclusion that the most important asset we have in our business is the relationship that we developed with people like you. You could change it up right there. I'm just changing it as I go. I also have to confess that Chris and I have not been as proactive in personally communicating with you. And it's to that point that I've taken appropriate steps to start communicating with you more frequently. And you can put in there what you're going to do. Maybe I'm going to do newsletter. Maybe I'm going to do personal cards, or maybe I'm going to do follow-up calls. Please consider it the evidence that I'm putting my relationship with you back where it needs to be. That is first in my business. Again, you could rework this line. I'm not married to it. You can rework it. But I know it works. So I did send this out to a lot of my people. In the near future, you will begin to receive my monthly newsletter. So I paid for a $25, there's many e-newsletters out there, Chris. I don't know, you probably have a list of them too. I use housesender.com because it's already dialed in with our graphics and with my photo and my image. Do my people get that e-newsletter and delete it and put it in their trash? Yeah, they probably do. But you know what? It's still putting that message out monthly without me having to do much except update my database. So I put that out there that you'll begin to receive my monthly newsletter. Meanwhile, if you have any questions or if we can help you in any way, please don't hesitate to call us. And then you can put Rochelle and Chris. So again, very simple sample letter. I put it on letterhead. I put, my picture on the bottom with my name, and it went out, and I hand addressed, literally, you guys, hand addressed all of the letters that I sent out because I wanted them to open it. So if you're using a pre-done envelope, I would just a regular white envelope, folded nicely, stuff the envelope, send that out if you want to connect with your database this spring. Then you can send out an email. So week 1, I sent out my elephant letter or email. If you have only email addresses, many of you only have email addresses, you could kind of rework that elephant letter and turn it into an email. And the sample email that works really well is updating my records. That's the subject line that I would use. I referenced some good subject lines that last week about records and what to say in your subject line. We've tested updating my records, and it actually gets really good results. So that would be what I would send out to your email, to your database, if you were going to send out some sort of message that looks like this. I would just title it Updating My Records and send it out. Then the next thing you're going to want to do with either your, if you sent the letter out in snail mail, after the letter's been delivered, the next step would be to send out a 9-word email. It has to be super short, almost like a text message, although you guys are getting really wild with text messages lately. You guys are sending me these long text messages, which is fine, but your text message or your 9-word email needs to be very short and very personal. It needs to look like you sent it just to them, even though you're going to send it out to everybody, right? It can't have no flashy colors. I don't even want you to put your signature block in. So if you have a way of removing your signature block or sending it from your phone, no canned, no HTML, no flashy colors, nothing. When they see it in your inbox from you, it will elicit a reply. It doesn't have to be something fancy, very, very old school. So you understand? So basically, the subject line could be their name, and then it just says, "Are you still interested in buying a home in Federal Way? Are you still interested in selling a home in Federal Way? Are you still interested in buying a home are you still interested in getting more information about Tacoma?" Whatever that, it has to be very short. That's how short it needs to be. And it works beautifully. They respond because you're not asking for a lot. You're just asking for a little. Okay. Then the week after, you could send out a text message if you didn't get a response. Now, of course, if you got them to respond on step number 2, beautiful. Okay. Sometimes it takes more than just 2 approaches to make this work, this Goldmine strategy. So the ones I converted, actually, it was several attempts of sending out the letter, sending out the email, and some of them just, put a response. But then a week after, I sent them out a text message that said, "I'm following up from my last week's email. I have more information about the Federal Way homes. Would you be interested in talking more today?" That was it. And I sent it out through a conversation portal, SMS conversation. So I can send out a lot of text messages using this provider. If you are wanting to use a way to get out a blast text message to your entire database, I would be happy to help you with that. You just need to come into the office. Carly knows how to use SMS conversations. She can help you with that. You can use this vendor if you like, if you come and use it in our office. And again, that's a little bit of a cost for me, but in the long term, it's paid off beautifully for other brokers who have used SMS conversations. It's a way to blast out a text message to a multiple amount of people. And then what you want to do, if you still have not received their response after these 3 attempts, is you'll want to send out a Sly broadcast. Chris, have you used Sly broadcast before?
Yeah, I have.
What do you think about Sly broadcast?
I think it's a great way to, especially if you're going to do a group. Of course, side dial is going to be your individual phone calls, but I think if you've got something that you're going to send out, as long as you, there's a little bit of a gray area there as far as like making sure that the numbers are on, not on the do not call. But if you've got the authorization, not necessarily selling anything, I think Sly Broadcast can be a really great tool to get out to a lot of people.
Yeah, and again, we've already said they know us.
Yeah, so as long as they know you, I think it's a great way to do many. As long as you come up with a really great message that does not sound canned, that you're able to send out to a lot of people that sounds very personal. So
this is what I said. I said, "Hi, this is Rochelle. I've been trying to reach you the past couple weeks. If you or someone is locally is thinking of selling their home, I'm working with a family right now that's qualified and ready to buy. We might be able to sell the home without listing it publicly. Give me a call back at 206-947-0811 if you know someone looking to sell. Thanks." You're interested if you would have somebody that you know, because they're thinking, what's in it for them, Chris? Well, I wouldn't have to put it on the open market, would I? I might.
That's true.
Who has got people that she knows. So I had, like I said, the 2 or 3 people, they actually got my Sly broadcast. And then when I went to go talk with them, the one of them, she didn't respond to any of it. She's a hard one. She didn't respond to the 1, she didn't respond to the 2 or the text message or the Sly broadcast. But the Sly broadcast was what got her thinking. So when I showed up the week later to get my kid's haircut, she's like, "Rochelle, you've been sending me messages, and I actually, it's so funny you would send that out to me." She goes, "I actually, I was going to give you my daughter to go work and show a house, but actually my husband and I are thinking about, he's going to retire next year, and we're thinking about maybe buying an investment property. Would you be willing to help us with that?" I'm thinking, absolutely. So then the discussion happened. Next weekend, we went and found them a duplex, and we went under contract with a duplex. So it was not difficult, but it's, again, we're attacking, and I say attacking in kind of an aggressive way, but we are being very systematic in how we're contacting our database. Many of you have a database, but many of you have not taken the opportunity to connect with the database. And there's many different strategies. You could replace this strategy with, say, another Goldmine strategy, which I've used, different types of text messages or voicemails to really connect with a different group of people. I've done all of this in my past. So, what I would start to do tonight is take your group of people, and Chris and I have we have a database. You could use an Excel sheet, put the names, the phone numbers, email address. If you don't want to do that, there are people that I would pay to do that. And a college kid would be fantastic. So you're not having to data entry a lot of this stuff. Give them your cell phone records. Give them your, maybe you have a word sheet. Maybe you literally have them hand done, on a sheet of paper. Whatever it may be, let's get it into a format that we can then import into a CRM of some sort that you will check regularly. You'll make that promise. I promise that I will check it every day. And if not, then I will look for a better CRM that I will check every day. And there's plenty of CRMs out there. I think that was the bulk of the call that I wanted to cover with you guys today. Chris, did you have anything else to add?
I've got a couple of quick things. Lion Desk would also be another CRM system I would take a look at. That also has a video email and video text component. So it's online, Lion Desk. And one of the things, I just came from a large real estate conference, the largest real estate company in the world, and they really were focusing on CRM. And one of the things that they're really heavily pushing is making sure that their brokers were getting the actual physical addresses of the clients that they're working with. And the reason for that is so they can actually do like home valuations. So you can present your clients with things that they would see as being valuable. So having a physical address for them is one of the things that I would make as a prerequisite, or would be on top of my list of the information that I'd want to get plugged into this from the very beginning.
Yeah. Well, you can see with my strategy, I mean, it's a kind of a text traditional approach. Again, it's 4 or 5 different things that you do to connect with people, right? Yeah. So it's layering, and that's all it is. It's connecting with people the way they may want to connect with you back at.
Yeah.
So Line Desk is good. It looks like they have a free trial, so that's nice. If you guys wanted to try it out, that would be an option. The other one, it's pretty pricey, but it's having great success right now, is Follow Up Boss.
Yes.
Cheryl uses Follow Up Boss as her CRM. She's very happy. She's tried out many CRMs, just about as many as I have, but they also have a free trial here at Follow Up Boss. What else?
And Rochelle, one of the things too, just on mobile, and I used this for a little while before we integrated Sugar. It's called Bond, B-O-N-D. Okay. It's free or next to free. It's a mobile app, and it's where you can put your contacts. It syncs with what you have in your phone, and you can set follow-ups. You can do all kinds of things. So Bond could be really useful for somebody that's, whether they want to use it only for their business, but it's actually kind of a cool little app that you can use, and it's a mobile app only, I believe. B-O-N-D.
Is Apple and what is?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe Apple and Android.
Apple. Let's just see what comes up. On the app. Let's just see if we can search for it. See if there's reviews on it or something. So you have to search in the App Store.
Yeah, I would just go on the App Store, just B-O-N-D. It's been a great little thing. We were using it kind of collectively before we integrated Sugar. So it was something that even at WFG, and we're pretty tech forward, and it was something that we were using for a period of time when we were trying to just manage some things before we got the data into our Sugar system.
Okay.
And then, and a couple of things, I know the call's just about to come to an end, but one of the things that I really try to promote often and let folks know about is there's some really creative ways to create like listening lists in social media where it's not about broadcasting, but maybe it's making sure that you're connected with people that are most likely to send you business, or where you can kind of have a little bit softer approach to stay connected with them and really interact with them and engage with them in a really personalized manner before maybe you're going to be asking them for something or trying to introduce yourself.
Right.
It's just a way to connect, and that's through friends lists. And if anybody has any curiosity around that, if they want to sit down and talk about that one-on-one or meet with Wendy and I, we'd be more than happy to show them some other strategies. I could talk about this all night long. This is
I know, until you said it's opening up 4 more calls on this, Chris. But I would say that, you bring up a good point. Some brokers have actually used Facebook as their CRM, and that's basically what Chris is talking about. You could organize it in such a way where you know your friends list, you can even build your own Goldmine strategy with your list that's on Facebook, if you do it right. Yeah. So love this. This is cool.
Yeah. Never underestimate the power of the red bubble either. Messaging people on social media is a really powerful way. Plus it gives you metrics and lets you know when they received it, when they read it. And people are more likely to respond to you in social media than they are maybe per se on a text per se. So, messaging people on Facebook is another really effective way to try to reach out to your sphere, especially people, because they're going to have an ability to be able to look at your profile and kind of feel more personalized and more connected to you after you leave them a message. So that's another great tool to be leveraging.
Cool. I like to check out Bond because that would be fun. I always ask Carly, can you just send this personal card out? Can you send this? And it would save us some time, because it does look like it's personally done from your phone. So it looks
that's not actually the app. I will send you a link to it, Rochelle.
Okay. So it's not Bond handwritten notes.
No, it's not. It's just Bond, BOND. That looks cool though. I like what you're showing me here, but that's this one is just kind of a bare bones mobile CRM.
Okay.
So it syncs with your phone contacts, and it allows you to be able to set, reminders or things like that, alarms, follow up with somebody, you can leave some notes. So there is some room and some information that you can actually put in there as far as different information about a particular contact, things like that. If you meet somebody in an open house, per se. So.
Okay. Well, why don't you send it to me, and if you guys want the Goldmine strategy and then Chris's Bond idea, that's cool. I love sharing you guys when something's working and we've used it before. Let's share on social media and our Facebook group, and on the calls like that. That makes all of us really kick it up a notch. So love that. Just let me know if you want the strategy. I'll email it to you so you don't have to overthink. And then Chris will send me an email, and then I can also loop you in when they respond, so you can see who you can reach out to.
Modern Day Agent, that's a really, really useful resource too, because that's going to have all different CRMs, lead gen. It's going to have, photography, all the different stuff that's going to be on there. It's all going to be updated, the most recent, most current, and applicable stuff for the market. So
cool. Very cool. Well, hopefully this gave you at least, there's a lot of information to cover, but we'll talk next week about the next segment of the conference calls is taking your database now and what do you actually say to them on the phone. So we're going to be doing some role playing. Hopefully Chris is not out of town next week. I'd love to have you.
I'm here.
So I can practice some scripting with you. I think that a lot of agents need to hear how we communicate and can maybe take some ideas on how you script and how we deal with objections. So I believe that's next on deck. You guys have a great week out there. It's beautiful weather today. So hopefully you're out enjoying it. Showing homes. Would be nice. We're having a good month, Chris. March looks to be a really big month for us.
I'm really happy to hear that. It's things are picking back up again. That weather didn't help things, but I'm feeling like things are looking promising again.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, you guys have a great night. We'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, perfect. Good night, Rochelle. We'll talk to you.